Forex brokers all say regulated, but regulated by who? That word decides whether your deposit is actually protected.
A forex broker sits in the middle of your money flow. You deposit, the broker quotes the price, the broker settles the trade, the broker holds your balance. If that broker misquotes, delays a withdrawal, or goes insolvent, the only thing standing between you and a total loss is the regulator behind the name on the homepage. So when you see regulated in the footer, the question isn't whether it's true, it's who. Because two brokers can both say regulated, and one of them is protecting 85,000 pounds of your money, while the other is protecting exactly nothing. Here's the frame to hold in your head. Real regulation does three things. It sets a capital floor, how much of the broker's own money has to be sitting there to absorb losses. It forces client money segregation. Your deposit lives in a separate account that the broker's creditors can't touch if the company collapses. And in the best jurisdictions, it backs a compensation scheme. Actual cash paid out if the broker fails anyway. Marketing can fake almost everything else on a broker's site. The spreads, the awards, the testimonials. It cannot fake the regulator's public register. That's the one document that doesn't lie. Let's start at the top. The FCA, the UK's Financial Conduct Authority, is the benchmark. Capital floor of €730,000 minimum, though serious brokers hold multiples of that. Leverage capped at 30-to-1 on major FX, 20-to-1 on minors and gold, 5-to-1 on stocks, 2-to-1 on crypto. Negative balance protection is mandatory, meaning you cannot lose more than you deposited, even in a flash crash. And if the broker goes under, the FSCS pays you back up to £85,000 per client. That last number is why FCA-regulated brokers carry a premium. You're not just buying oversight, you're buying a state-backed insurance policy. Then there's the US, the NFA and CFTC, different beast entirely. The capital floor here is $20 million in net capital. That's not a typo. $20 million minimum before you can even take a retail Forex client, which is why almost no brokers operate in the US. Oanda, IGUS, a handful of others. The catch? Higher leverage allowed, 50-to-1 on majors. CFDs are banned outright for retail. No negative balance protection required. And here's the part nobody mentions. There is no compensation scheme. None. If your US broker fails, segregation is your only protection. The capital bar is huge precisely because the safety net behind it is thin. ASIC in Australia, cysec in the EU, both run at the same 30-to-1 leverage cap, both mandate negative balance protection. The difference is the payout. ASIC has no statutory compensation scheme. You get strict capital rules and professional indemnity insurance, but no fixed sum guaranteed. Cysec tops out at €20,000 through the Investor Compensation Fund. That gap matters. An FCA broker pays out £85,000. A Cysec-only broker pays out €20,000. Same European style framework, 4 times the protection. That's why serious brokers, Pepperstone, eToro, AvaTrade, start with Cysec and then add an FCA license on top. Different licenses, different client pools, different protection ceilings. 3 more Tier 1s worth knowing. FINMA in Switzerland regulates brokers as securities dealers, bank-grade oversight, which is why Swissquote and Dukascopy carry a different kind of weight. BaFin in Germany enforces MiFID II with the strictest marketing rules in Europe. And MAS in Singapore caps leverage at 20-to-1, runs tight capital and conduct rules, and is the license behind IG Asia and Saxo Singapore. If you see any of these on a broker's footer, FCA, NFA, ASIC, Cysec, FINMA, BaFin, MAS, that's a real regulator. Anything else, you need to look closer. Which brings us to the licenses you should distrust. SVG, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The SVG Financial Authority explicitly states it does not regulate Forex. A broker citing SVG regulation is technically telling you it has no regulation at all. Vanuatu, Seychelles, Mauritius, Marshall Islands, Comoros, paper licenses. Minimal oversight, minimal enforcement, no meaningful client money rules. Brokers use these offshore entities for one reason, to offer 500-to-1 leverage and accept clients from regions where the Tier 1 rules would block them. The regulation is cosmetic. It exists to put a badge on the homepage. It does not protect your deposit.
Now, here's what regulated does not mean, because this is where most traders misread the label. Regulated does not mean the broker can't lose your money. It means they have to tell someone when they do. Regulated does not mean the spreads are fair. Regulators supervise conduct, not price competitiveness. Regulated does not mean execution is unbiased. Dealing desk models can be perfectly perfectly legal. And regulated definitely does not mean the app works. Safety and usability are different problems. The regulator's job is to make sure that when things go wrong, there's a process, not that things never go wrong. So how do you actually verify a broker in 5 minutes? Step 1. Scroll to the footer and find the legal entity name. Not the trading name, the legal entity. Something like Pepperstone Group Limited or Plus 500 UK Limited. Step 2. Find the license number. FRN for the FCA, AFSL for ASIC, a cysec number, whatever applies. Step 3. And this is the one most people skip. Open the regulator's own website. Not the broker's verification page, the regulator. Search by number. Step 4. Confirm the status reads authorized or active, not withdrawn, not restricted. And step 5, the one that catches people out, match the entity on your deposit confirmation to the regulated entity. If the company taking your money is a different legal vehicle from the one on the register, your protection may not transfer. That's the offshore trick. Regulated parent, unregulated subsidiary, your deposit goes to the subsidiary. Remember the question I opened with? Why does Plus 500 hold 8 regulator licenses? Here's the answer. Each Tier 1 license lets the broker legally accept clients from that region under that region's strictest rules. FCA for UK clients with £85,000 FSCS protection, ASIC for Australian clients with negative balance guarantees, cysec for EU clients with €20,000 ICF coverage. They're not stacking licenses for show. They're building a legal map that gives every client the strongest local protection available. Pepperstone does the same. FCA, ASIC, cysec, DFSA, BaFin, SCB. That's the signal. A broker with 1 Tier 1 license and 4 offshore ones isn't equivalent. It's the opposite signal. So here's the verdict. Tier 1 regulation is a non-negotiable filter. FCA, NFA, ASIC, cysec, FINMA, BaFin, or MAS. If a broker doesn't carry at least one of those for the entity that will receive your deposit, walk away. The spreads don't matter. The platform doesn't matter. The bonus doesn't matter. Without real regulation, you're an unsecured creditor of a private company holding your cash. With it, you have segregation, capital backing, and in the best cases, an actual compensation check if everything goes wrong. 5 minutes on the regulator's register before you fund. That's the price of admission.
Tier 1 regulation is the only filter that matters. Full breakdown linked in the description.